Good evening, everyone. We're just going to give people a couple minutes to sign on. This is going to be an info session with the University of Toledo. I see we still have people joining us. I'm just going to give it another 30 seconds and we'll get started. And like I said, in case you just joined, this is an info session with the University of Toledo. So tonight's session will be, it's a webinar style, which means you as participants are muted. We can't see you or hear you. If you have questions throughout the presentation, we invite you to use the Q&A button and to type your questions at any time. Know that this session is being recorded and will be available at www.iacac.org. And you can view that or future sessions or past sessions that have happened on the IACAC website. There are still more presentations happening. We're winding down a little bit, but there's still more. And so you can check out the schedule at www.iacac.org. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our presenters.
Okay.
All right, you're good to go.
All right, thank you so much. Let me just go ahead and share my screen. Okay, perfect. So good evening, everyone. My name is Johnny Horn, and I am one of the admission counselors at the University of Toledo. I work specifically with students in the state of Illinois. So after today, if you have any questions, I will be your point girl for those. I am an alumna of the University of Toledo, so I experienced this campus and the culture firsthand. My degree is in psychology, and I'm currently pursuing a master's degree in educational psychology. So I loved it so much, I decided to come back and do it again. I come from what I like to call a rocket family. So my dad went to the University of Toledo, my older sister, and my younger sister as well. So I was born and raised in the community, and I loved my student experience. So my goal today is to give you some more general information about the University of Toledo, but also to tie in a little bit of my student experience so you can see campus through my experience a little bit as well. So let's start by just talking about what our mission is at the University of Toledo, right? I know it may be overwhelming looking at different universities. A lot of them offer the same programs or the same type of experiences, but the mission can help you kind of differentiate between campuses. So at Toledo, our goal is to empower and prepare driven individuals through inclusive collaboration, scholarly research, and hands-on experience in order to improve the human condition in the region and around the world. So really, as we go through this presentation, you will see how we're focusing on this mission. It comes through our student population, through our academic programs, through our hands-on learning experiences, and through our student involvement opportunities. So we really want our students to feel confident in their abilities once they graduate, but also for them to use their abilities and talents to help improve the human condition. So let's talk more specifically about our academic community. The University of Toledo is a mid-sized university. We have around 16,000 undergraduates, which would be you guys coming directly from high school. And then we also have 4,000 graduate students. And our students come from all over the world in the country. 42 different states and 84 different countries are represented in our student population. About 83% of those students are from somewhere other than Toledo. So of course we have a strong representation of students in Ohio since we're from Ohio, many students from Michigan, but really we attract students from all over the country and the world. So when you're on campus, you'll really get to meet a diverse group of people who've experienced life differently than you, or maybe had a similar upbringing, which is really nice when you're in the classroom and you're learning from your classmates. We offer over 120 undergraduate programs for students to choose from. So we're most well known for our STEM programs like engineering, health science programs like nursing, pre-physical therapy, um, pharmacy. We're known for those programs, but we really have everything: business, education, the arts and humanities. So students with multiple interests can really explore different things at the University of Toledo. Or if students are undecided, we're a great place to start, because not only will we help you find your program of interest, we'll already have it here for you. So you wouldn't have to worry about transferring or anything like that. We are known for our professional programs as well. So for students who are thinking about law, medicine, pharmacy, we have professional pathways built in already. For law, we have our 3+3 program, which cuts down on the time it takes to complete a bachelor's degree and a JD. So your senior year of undergrad is also your first year of law school. We have our Back to MD program, which is our pathway to the University of Toledo Medical School. This program will waive the MCAT requirement and guarantee an interview for students who are accepted as high school seniors with our College of Medicine admission team. So to qualify for this program, it is competitive. Students need at least a 3.5 unweighted GPA and a 28 on the ACT, which is a 1310 on the SAT. But if you meet those minimum requirements, we highly encourage you to apply. We also have a pathway to our PharmD program for high school seniors as well. It's our pharmacy contingent admission program. And so students can apply for that first by submitting their application for admission to the University of Toledo, and then filling out the PharmD contingent admission application, which is separate. Our priority application deadline is December 1st for the programs that you see listed on the screen. So it is important to do that process as soon as possible so you maximize your admission and scholarship opportunities. In addition to the pre-health programs and the law program you see listed on the screen, we do have graduate programs in every field. So many UT students will decide to continue on with their education after completing their undergrad, kind of like I am. The hallmark for our educational programs at Toledo are the experiences that our students receive outside of the classroom. Depending on the major, it'll look a little different. We have a lot of opportunities for research, study abroad, and internships and co-ops. So I'll talk a little bit about all of those now. As a student at Toledo, I was involved in undergraduate research in 2 psychology research labs. One was a health-centered lab where we did a lot of studies that focused on cancer patients and their well-being after certain treatments. I also was in a forensic lab, which was a child-centered lab. The studies that we focused on were around child memory formation and how their relationships with their moms affect those memories. And so having that research experience really helped me figure out what I was most interested in with a psychology degree. You probably have heard jokes, or maybe have made some yourself about psychology majors, like, oh, they can read minds, or different things like that. So research was really what helped me figure out what I could actually do with psychology, not what everyone thought I could do. Undergraduate research is open to all of our students, no matter what major they are pursuing. And it is pretty simple for students to get involved in research at Toledo. If you have an interest, our faculty members are eager to take in research assistants, so you would just partner with them to do that. We do have an Office of Undergraduate Research that helps facilitate students finding those research opportunities. So it's not super far-fetched or rare for students to be involved. Research is a huge part of the experience specifically for students who are interested in pre-health programs. So getting that experience before applying to med school or pharmacy school is really important. And so you definitely want to consider what type of opportunities you have at a university. Study abroad is also a great opportunity for students to get some out of the classroom experience. I did also study abroad as a student at Toledo. I went to Toledo, Spain, which is actually our sister city here in Toledo, Ohio. And I participated in a 4-week summer program studying Spanish with students from all over the world. And so that was a great experience for me. The best part of the experience outside of just getting to know different cultures and seeing a different part of the world is that I was able to do it pretty affordably, or it was pretty affordable for my family to do that. I was able to use scholarships that I already was receiving from the university to go towards the program, so I didn't have to pay much out of pocket. And it was pretty easy to incorporate into my plan of study with psychology. And so the programs that we offer for study abroad are similar for all the majors, where you can use financial aid that you're already receiving to fund those programs, and that they can easily be built into your plan of study. So it is definitely a feasible opportunity. You don't need to do anything super special in order to participate. Of course, we have the more traditional forms of hands-on learning like internships and co-ops. Those are most prevalent in our College of Engineering programs, as well as our business programs, where you'll see students doing co-ops, which are opportunities to work full-time as students. Those are required for our engineering science program. So our students spend 3 semesters working full-time for an engineering company, paid for their work, getting that hands-on experience. And then for business, most of our majors require at least 1 semester's worth of an internship, and about 90% of those internships are paid. So not only are you getting that experience, but you're also getting some money in your pocket. Our Office of Career Services is there to help students find those opportunities and also prepare to be successful in them. So they do resume building, they do interview screenings, or help you practice your interview skills. And they really just help advise you through that whole process, so you're supported in your hands-on learning. We also offer an honors program for students who are looking for even more of a challenge in college. This is a great opportunity for students who are interested in continuing their education with a professional degree like medicine or law, or maybe going to graduate school for a master's or PhD. So our honors college has a few different hallmarks of the program. So the first is an orientation course that is designed to acclimate you to campus and the Toledo community. And then you have 2 additional courses. One is rooted in community service, and the other is rooted in diversity and inclusion. So students have those experiences early on in their career at the University of Toledo. And then your experience in the honors college continues in your major programs. So for example, if you are a business major, you will be taking some business courses that will require an additional project centered for the honors college requirements. So you'll have a few classes like that. And then by the end of your career at Toledo, you'll finish out your program with a capstone project that will look a little different depending on what your major is. It could be a research project, a portfolio project, a business plan. It could be a lesson plan that you put together as an education major. So there are a lot of opportunities to really develop your critical thinking and academic skills that are super important for continuing your education or for future job opportunities. To qualify for the Honors College, students do need at least a 3.5 GPA, but it is holistic review. So we will consider your GPA as well as your essay responses on the application. You'll share your resume and list of reference. We are reviewing students as test optional, so I'll get into that a little bit later. But we do want to see your application for the Honors College by February 15th. Creating community in college is super important, and especially for those who are planning to go a little further away. So if you're at this session, you're definitely thinking about going at least 4 hours away from home, if not more. Our residence life programs will really help students feel connected to campus. And so we have 9 residence halls for freshmen to choose from. They range in style. We have a traditional style for first year students, which is Parks Tower. It's newly renovated, so it's a great option for first year. So you'll be rooming with another freshman, you'll be having similar classes, and so you can really build those friends and that community that will carry you throughout your 4 years as a student at Toledo. We also have honors specific residence halls. So if you are thinking about the honors college, you'll have the best pick of housing on campus. We have specialized living learning communities. So for students who want to live with other students who are majoring in the same things as them, we have living learning communities for those, as well as special interest communities like a gender neutral community, a multicultural community, and different groups like that. Student organizations are also a great way to find that community on campus. At Toledo, we have over 400 for students to choose from, and they range in type. We have special interest groups, academic and social fraternities and sororities, club sports, service organizations, pretty much anything you can think of. A piece of advice that I got in college that I think every college student should hear is that when you're picking out student organizations to be involved in, you should try to find one that will help you with your major or your future career. And you should find one that's going to help you relax and just have fun that has nothing to do with your major. So at Toledo, I was involved in PsyChi, which is a psychology organization. And then I was also involved in the Black Student Union, which was more of a social organization. So finding that balance between what to be involved in is definitely important. And at Toledo, because we have so many organizations, you're bound to find one that will fit your interest. So I do want to spend a little time talking about the city of Toledo, especially if you haven't been there before. Toledo is located about 4 hours from downtown Chicago. So if you live in Chicagoland, it's probably within 4 to 5 hours driving distance from you. We are the 4th largest city in Ohio, so right behind Columbus, Cincinnati, and Cleveland. And so you're definitely going to have all of the luxuries of a city if you decide to attend the University of Toledo. We have malls, movie theaters, shops, restaurants, 2 minor league sports teams. We're actually ranked number 2 by US News for outdoor city lovers because we have a lot of different metro parks and outdoors activities for our residents to do. And so you get all of the luxuries of a city by attending the University of Toledo. Our city itself is located in a residential area, so it's not a downtown campus. It's actually about 10 minutes from downtown, more central to the center of the city. And so you have very scenic views on campus, a lot of green space if you do like the outdoors. So it's definitely a good mix between a city and a residential campus. Our location is also great for students when thinking about internships and co-ops. Within a 3-hour driving distance of campus, we have over 30 Fortune 500 companies that our students will do their co-ops and internships at. So you don't have to drive super far to find an opportunity. We have a lot of them within the city, or an hour away in Detroit, or 2 hours away in Cleveland. So there are a lot of opportunities both inside the classroom and outside of the classroom at the university and the city itself. Now I want to talk a little bit more about next steps because we have had a lot of different changes to our admission and enrollment processes in the past year or so. So the first thing I want to talk about is visiting campus. I know right now we are in a global pandemic, and so this may be a little bit more difficult than it has been in past years, but we do have some in-person visits happening on our campus right now. Monday through Friday, we offer 2 campus tours, one at 10 a.m. and one at 2:30 p.m. And then we have one on Saturdays as well. We do have virtual visits available on our website as well. So if you want to do a virtual campus tour or tune in to one of our college webinars to learn about a specific major, you can do that. And we have some preview days that are happening as well. And those are the ones I do recommend for students who are coming from out of state, because you get more information for your visit to campus. We have 2 left in November, and then we'll have some more dates available for the spring. As far as the application process goes for the University of Toledo, you may apply 2 different ways. We are on the common application, or we have our institutional application that can be accessed at discover.utoledo.edu. We don't have a preference on how you apply. Whichever works best for you, you can choose to do. I will say the UToledo Discover application is a shorter application. It only takes about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. But the Common App allows you to apply to multiple universities with one application. So I'll let you decide which works best for you. We have 2 pathways for admission this year. One is a more traditional pathway where you would submit your high school transcript with your GPA and your ACT or SAT scores. But we are also offering a test optional admission pathway where you would only be required to submit your high school transcript. So before you make a decision on how to apply, please let me know. I would be happy to look over your credentials and advise you on the best pathway for you that will maximize your scholarships and your admission opportunities. At Toledo, we do have 2 different sets of merit scholarships based on how you apply. So it is possible that you may maximize your scholarship by applying with your test scores or choosing to omit them from your application. So again, please let me know how I can help you before you apply. We are also super scoring the ACT and the SAT. So if you have taken the test more than one time, make sure you do send both sets of scores to us so we can calculate your highest composite score. We will use that score for scholarship and admission purposes. Financing your education is super important. So I know probably at your high school, or you may be seeing on different articles that you may be reading or in the news, the FAFSA, or free application for federal student aid, is available now. If your family does plan to apply for the FAFSA, please do so early. At Toledo, our priority deadline to have your FAFSA is February 1st each year. And we use the information for the FAFSA to prepare a financial aid reward package for you. So that will show all of the federal and institutional aid that you're eligible for, as well as your estimated cost of attendance. So you'll be able to subtract your aid amount from the cost of attendance to give you more realistic view of what it's going to cost out of pocket to attend the University of Toledo. So please make sure you are doing the FAFSA. Outside of the FAFSA, we do have multiple scholarship opportunities that students should consider. I already talked a little bit about merit scholarships at Toledo. They range from $1,000 to $6,000 per year. And then for out-of-state students, we include a $8,500 scholarship that we call Rocket Nation. And that helps cover the out-of-state surcharge that we have. So it is important that you apply early, no later than December 1st, to be fully considered for the Rocket Nation Scholarship and other merit scholarships. Outside of the merit scholarship program, we have our Presidential Scholarship, which is our most prestigious at the University of Toledo. It is a full ride scholarship with free tuition, general fees, room and board, and a $3,000 stipend for study abroad or research. We do have 2 pathways for the Presidential Scholarship this year. So if you are applying test optional and you have at least a 3.8 GPA, you are eligible to apply for the Presidential Scholarship. If you are applying test included, you would need a 3.8 GPA and a 30 on the ACT or a 1360 on the SAT. So depending on if you're interested in the scholarship, you may want to decide to apply one way or the other. We also have Levis Leadership, which is not only a scholarship program, but also a leadership development program that starts during a student's freshman year. You take a leadership development course and live in a leadership development community in one of our residence halls. And then during the sophomore, junior, and senior year, you will have certain leadership roles on campus with things like homecoming, our 2 service events, Rockathon and Songfest, and other leadership roles throughout the years. Our Office of Financial Aid offers a general scholarship application that works similarly to the Common App, where students will submit one application and be considered for multiple donor scholarships we have at the University of Toledo. And then all of our academic colleges have their own opportunities that will depend on a student's major. So again, the deadline for most of these scholarships are December 1st. So it is important to apply early so you can maximize your eligibility for these scholarships. That is the end of my presentation. I tried to keep it pretty short just so I didn't overwhelm you too much with information. I have my contact information listed here, my phone number and my email. And so if you do have any questions after this session, please feel free to contact me. I will also send you an email after this event just so you have my contact information in your email. And so we can continue to correspond that way. Now that I'm done with the presentation, I will take any questions that anyone may have. So don't forget, you have the Q&A feature on your screen. And so I will take questions that way. Oh, okay. So I do have a question that just came in, and it is, can you apply for scholarships despite not being accepted yet? And my answer to that is yes. We just need your application to be complete by the time that you apply for scholarships. So as long as you've submitted your application, you've had your transcript and your test scores, if you're applying with those sent over, you can start working on those scholarship applications. I have a second question here. What is the ACT/SAT policy for the pre-professional dentistry program? If it is not test optional, what score do you need to apply? That's a great question. It is test optional for our pre-dentistry concentration. In fact, any student can actually select that concentration so that they have the resources through our pre-health advising center. So there is actually no minimum test score or GPA to be pre-dentistry, pre-med, pre-vet, any of those pre-professional concentrations. You don't need a specific GPA or test score for those. Great question. Are there any other questions that I can help answer? Is that the one with Case Western? Okay, so you are talking about the partnership we have with Case Western. So yes, there are minimum requirements for that. I believe, I don't know them off the top of my head, so I will follow up with you separately after today. But I do believe that the test score requirement is at least a 29 on the ACT. And I believe that the GPA would be at least a 3.7. But again, I will follow up specifically with that. Our Case Western dentistry partnership is available to UT students who are thinking of dentistry. It is a program where you can apply to the Case Western School of Dentistry as a high school senior and be accepted directly into the dentistry program. So you would do your undergraduate degree at the University of Toledo and then do the dentistry school with Case Western. Okay, we have another question that's come in. What would you recommend students do for fun on campus, such as school events? Also, do you have a favorite memory of your favorite event at school? Yeah, so this is a great question. And it's a hard question to answer because there's always so many things happening at once to do on campus. Our student organizations constantly have events. Actually, within my office with a few colleagues, we planned a virtual trivia night for current students, and that was so much fun. The winners got gift cards to Netflix, and so that was really fun to take me back to my undergrad days. But I would say my favorite event that happens on campus each year and that I loved going to as a student is our Student Appreciation Day. It normally happens in the spring, and it's put on by the office of our university president. And they have so many things happening at once. They have bouncy houses, they have snow cone machines, they have cotton candy machines, food trucks, a DJ, there are t-shirts being given away, and it's just a great way to get out on campus and see everyone. The weather is normally really nice, and so that was my favorite event that I always look forward to as a student, to get like that free stuff and just see everyone. But there are so many events that happen that are fun. Right now with the pandemic, like much of everything else, things have been converted virtually, but I do think the university has done a great job of offering like virtual events for students to still get involved. Any other questions? Stop sharing my screen. Well, it doesn't look like we have any other questions. So I am good to end here. Like I said, expect an email from me within a couple of days just to touch base. But thank you all so much for joining me tonight.
Yeah, and I'll just add that when you close out of this session, there will be a really quick 4-question survey that we would love for you to complete. And again, you can sign up for more sessions and view recordings at www.iacac.org. Have a great evening. Thank you.